Time for a struggle challenge. Let's see what you got for me today. I'm going to an autumn harvest dinner party and I was asked to bring a vegetarian appetizer. What kind of dish might be good to serve lots of people and fit the theme? Do you have any suggestions? Suggestions is my middle name. Let's see what you got in the fridge. All right, we have a giant butternut squash. I think we cut it in half the long way, roast it on a sheet tray, pull that cooked meat out and leave the skin behind. While it's cooking, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do because there's so many possibilities. Let's get started. Start on the fatter end here, bite the knife in. Scoop all the seeds out. All right, we got a sheet tray. We got our butternut squash. 1, 2. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of oil to aid in the cooking. And then just salt and pepper into the oven. In the meantime, let's head over to the pantry and see what we can find. You know, the pasta always catches my eye, and I'm looking at some lasagna here. Let's see what we got in the fridge. Well. These are lasagna ingredients, let me tell you. Cottage cheese, a little bit of parm, mozzarella. Let's grab some milk. When the squash is done, we can scoop it out and mix it with the ricotta cheese and do different layers in between these boiled lasagna sheets and bring a whole casserole over. And that doesn't really make it an appetizer. So let's take all these lasagna flavors and serve it in a chip and dip situation. We boil up these lasagna noodles, we cut out some little triangles, and then we can just bake them off with some oil. They'll harden, and then we can make a butternut squash cheese queso dip. So let me get some water on the stove and start boiling up these noodles. All right, let's salt this pasta water. Let's get a whole bunch of these noodles in here. What do you say? Let's pull these noodles out. I take the pasta out, I get it as dry as I possibly can. I cut them into little triangles. We got a sheet tray here. Let's hit it with some oil. I'll lay these in a nice manner, I think. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of oil on top. Also, I'm gonna put these in the oven until they get nice and crispy like chips. We're gonna get some parm in a bowl. I'm gonna go on the finer side of the box here. That looks good. Squash is done. I've let it cool a little so I can handle it. I think we just start scooping the squash out right into our parm. Just come in with the spoon like this and right into the bowl. We got our squash with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Let's get a struggle whisk 7500, or in this case, a struggle masher 7500. And we'll see how smooth we can get. Let's start mixing this together. All right, that's looking pretty good to me, I feel like. We got our squash. Let's get some ricotta in here. Let's mix that around. Nice bright orange. Got some mozzarella cheese. So it's 3 cheeses and butternut squash. All right, let's see where we're at taste-wise then, yeah? Let's see. I think we could add some spices. How about a little cayenne and a little nutmeg? Zippity-doo-dah. Also working really nicely with our hue here. And we'll hit it with a little bit of nutmeg. I guess I'm gonna scoop this all into the pan and see how it starts to heat up. If it looks too tight, I'll add maybe a little bit of milk. Let's just warm it through and melt that mozz and see how it changes the texture. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of milk. So watch what happens here as I cut this milk through and it gets to the bottom. Yeah. Our pasta has gotten pretty brown. It's looking chippy, so let's pull it out. Woo-wee! Let's hit our chips with a little bit of salt while they're still hot, while they're oily. Super. Let's see what this dip's tasting like here. Let's mix a little olive oil in there too. Get it into a bowl. Little black pepper for some visual variance. So we've got 2 components here. We've got our pasta chips and we've got our dip. The pasta chips are looking pretty cool, I gotta say. They are glossy, they are hard, got a nice sound to them. We also have our butternut squash dip. I feel like the chips look great and the sauce doesn't look so great, but it could be a great sauce. So I'm giving this a passing grade on looks. It's getting a 7. So now let's see if this all holds up. What do you say? All right, let's give this a try now. The dip is pretty good. There's definitely an opportunity to add some more flavors that go really well with butternut squash here, but overall the flavors are good. And the chip is strong enough to pick up the whole thing. I'm gonna give it an 8 on flavor. 7 plus 8 is 15, it's a 75, it's a C. There's definitely room for improvement here, but I think this would be a delicious appetizer to take to a party. And I thank you for this challenge.